he was not impressed. He did not want to do it at all. And
I didn't
thought we were better than it.
I was definitely Ying.
Yo, conceived as one, split into two. Gonna talk so much shit till the air goes blue. After we're through, you're gonna wish you were monozygotic too. Just a couple of Nimpods up to no good. Couple of Nimpods up to no good. See what we're doing there? It's Nimrods. But it's a podcast with Nimpods.
Well, you were welcome to Nimpods 3.0. It's so significant that Jay's going to make a different intro.
You don't like the intro? Let's talk about the Nimpods intro for a sec.
What, like the
actual making what you just watched? That was something that we did. When did we do that? In October? I think we did that in October. It's actually kind of the start of the new Nimpods. Actually, no, we did. I think we did a few before without the video.
Yeah.
But I just thought we needed some silly video, and I forced Dan to do it. And I think you could see it a little bit in the video. Is that he was not impressed. He did not want to do it at all. And I thought we were better than it. Thought we were better than it.
I try to be open to a lot of things, and I try to be a why not person.
Oh shit!
I do try to live that life.
Yeah, like a why. But you were definitely whying on that one.
I was definitely whying.
That should be a thing. Why?
Why are you whying? It's not whining. It's not whining. It's
no
whying.
Yeah. No. Well,
you were talking about drinking. It's actually interesting. I had when we went out with James and Perry to in Victoria last week. I had one beer,
mm-hmm.
and I haven't drank in 2 weeks. Other than that,
yeah.
I find that like, it was becoming like it wasn't. I wasn't drinking like getting drunk.
No,
but after work I'd have a beer, maybe two, one with dinner, and then maybe one before bed, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I just figured that like it was becoming a little bit like a routine, right?
Yeah.
And I find also like, everything's so expensive now.
So
and it's just like there's things I want. Things I want in it, not material things, but money does help you with things. Like getting out of debt and stuff, and if I can save $20 a week,
yeah, for sure,
with not drinking and and not feeling that I need it, then I figure why not. It's not like I'm never gonna drink again, but it was just getting to a habit there where it was $20 a week every weekend. I'd get a 12-pack.
Oh yeah,
and I mean there's nothing wrong with that. It's almost kind of like an experiment.
Yeah. I wouldn't say
just some.
Yeah, I understand totally.
It's actually
kind of a bummer opening here.
It's a little bit bummer opening, but I feel too like I don't like it doesn't. Going to the concert last week was. I didn't really.
Well, that was 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, right? We're supposed to pretend it's 2 weeks ago. We're actually trying to bank.
We're trying to bank
an
episode here. We're actually when are we recording this? Is this 28th today? 27th, 28th.
28th.
January 28th. So we'll actually be in February by the time you see this. So don't hate us because we're trying to bank stuff. Because that's we're trying
to bank some content because we're starting to get this sort of we're enjoying making this content, but sometimes it's nice to have a little bit of buffer so then Jay can do his other work. His other, what the hell am I trying to say? His freelance stuff.
Yeah, I know. I understand what you're trying to say, but I get way more stoked about my own. Honestly, again, not pretending this was, 2 weeks ago. Like today, actually, this whole weekend, I just had to. It was worked all weekend. Like literally, it pained me to do this way, but I didn't have an hour to like mess around. Like, I mean, I should be working right now. I haven't finished what I need to do, and but it's wow, we're getting really sober in helping this. It's just it's just I'm not complaining, obviously not complaining at all. But I realized a lot too with projects, freelance projects and stuff is how I'm like I'm not motivated by money. I can prove kind of off the wax, off record, that I could tell you how much I'm getting paid for this, and it still like kills me because I'm not creating content for Francis Brothers Films. And I think that's I hate to be like put myself on like a bit of a like the pedestal thing, but it's just like I've never. It's kind of like just it's proof that I don't do shit for money.
Yeah.
I do stuff to live, like that's kind of like that. That's again, like you were saying, like with the alcohol and stuff, you're saving money and stuff. And this is kind of like, I'm gonna have to do stuff like this a little bit, where it's like stuff that I don't like. I'm not better than this. You know what I mean? I'm not better than having a job too. You know what I mean? But it's, I'm just I don't know. It's kind of like it's just stuff you have to do. And again, like it's a choice, right? I made this choice. I said yes to it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, this is a real boring podcast. it's up rampant a bit.
This is what happens. This is what happens when you try to bank it.
It's true.
You're trying to bank.
Sorry, Nimpods 30 should be like a big thing, like 30.
Well, you were gonna make a new intro, so that's price and mission right there, right?
No,
so what are you thinking of doing with that intro? You're gonna maybe you'll.
I really see this big. First in my head right away, like right when I say 30, I see this big, like really thick 3D style like poster where it's like it's almost like I kind of envision this. I remember I think Todd McFarlane did a Incredible Hulk cover for 300, Incredible Hulk 300. And it had these big.
Oh, and he's like holding it up, right?
I think he's holding 300, and I just instantly thought of that. So maybe I'll do that. I'll take his Hulk picture and just crop out the extra zero, and just.
I thought you were. I think you probably just throw an effect on that intro.
Oh, just like
12 frames a second and stuff, all stuttery, and then like.
I'll just put a VHS effect.
What does that look?
Blurred colors to
it. Mosaic. Is it mosaic when it's like?
It's a lot of star wipes. They'll throw some star wipes in there.
Yeah. Yep.
I was working on a project and I got confused on what the person wanted. I won't say who it was, and I started putting in star wipes because I swear that's what he said. And I'm like, really? You want star wipes in this? I'm like, okay. It's not really done cheesy wise, and then I was wrong. But felt like an idiot for a while. Who the hell ever would want a star wipe, even like ironically? That's so funny.
Everyone wants star wipes.
Yeah, actually, recently we posted an archive of those the ads. I forgot I kind of wanted to converse about this for a sec. We did poptent.net. I thought it was .com, but it was poptent.net. It was this company out of Philadelphia, I believe, that you as a client. So say if I was like Oreo cookies, I would like submit like as a client, I'd submit this job to this PopTent, and PopTent was this community of creators that say Oreo wanted a 30-second ad, animated, blah blah blah, like had a bit of a briefing, like, and then basically some suckers. Honestly, like when you think about it now, you got suckered in. I think looking back now, I don't think again, like it was a good learning experience for sure. I didn't do them as like, oh, I had to win these. Like if it was like my thing, whereas like I had to win these to like make a good wage. Like I just did them as lark most of the time.
Yeah.
Which is like the only way to do it, I think. If you're banking on spec, basically they're spec ads. Like a spec ad being you do it for free. It hopes that somebody would buy it, pay money for it or something. And so yeah, we did. I forgot how many we did. I mean, if that's one thing about these things that actually like it'll inspire you to like create more stuff, then I don't see that being a big like a bad thing at all. I wish I had more of them. I think I only have like less than half of them like survived, which is kind of sad actually because some of the animated ones were pretty cool.
When I really lost the you hit up the pot tent a lot more than I did.
Oh yeah,
that
sure.
I mean
you were in a lot of them.
I was in them, but I wasn't really like that motivated to. I wasn't motivated on the back end of it.
No.
But one that really bugged me, I believe it was Doritos Extreme or something.
I don't remember Doritos.
And they would send you like you could download the PDF about like what they wanted and stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Like
like a briefing basically.
Yeah. And I just remember like gagging over this one, and it was just like Doritos Extreme. We want kids, we want youth, and we want them to feel extreme.
Oh
and
yeah.
It was like all like bold and stuff.
But again, like not done ironically.
No, it was just like I couldn't believe it. I'm like
pretty cringy actually.
Me?
I do
remember
that. It was
so bad. It's like they want you to make a viral video that gets 1 billion views. They'll give you $5,000. That one really kind of like I was like, I'm done. I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
But it's probably very close to exactly how, if you were actually hired by something like Doritos Extreme to make a Doritos Extreme commercial.
Yeah, I mean they still have those contests. Like they have like the Doritos.
But the wording was just like so. It was just
But they have those. They still have those Doritos. Like I think actually thinking about it now, it probably spawned from the Pop Tent system because remember, I think a couple of years ago there was a guy from a team from Vancouver that won with that pig flying one.
Pig flying one, yeah.
But I mean those were like quite a chunk of change. I think it was like $100,000 or something. That you got. But we did sell that one to Ben and Jerry's ice cream. It was kind of funny. I think we did win. I think that was the first one I submitted. So I think it kind of got that. Oh, I can win every one. I got skill. Yeah. I got skill. I can win every one. But we never ended up winning another one. Actually, although we did get like placements. We were finalists in some of them. But they were hard. I mean, it's not none of this stuff is easy. I think that's kind of like what like I want to. Like if anybody's listening to this and like is just like an up and coming guy, it's like, you got to really work your ass off. Like, I mean, we're not young. We're still figuring this stuff out. I mean,
well, kids now, they have the advantage of like being
able to like do this stuff. Like quality wise, like, there was, I mean, I hate to say it, but like, our first half of our, quote unquote career, was just the struggle of like getting the gear, not the gear, but having the image quality to compete with like proper stuff. But nowadays it's just like this thing is 10 times the quality of like our first camera. Like I'm showing the people my phone here. A high 8 camera. Like we use a high 8 camera for like, I mean even up to like 3-chip mini DV tapes were not as good as this.
Well, it's like you still get a lot of these questions about like, oh, what's what's a good camera? What, like I'm just starting out. I'm 15 years old and I'm just starting out wanting to make videos. What camera should I get? And it's like, do you have a cell phone? Do you have a smartphone?
Oh yeah, there's so many.
Use that.
So many kids that think that
24/7 anyway, or it's on your hand 24/7 anyway.
If I was like a 13-year-old kid and 13-year-old kid and didn't have a camera, like, I mean, the thing is, if I was 13 nowadays, there would be never a second that I wasn't like making a movie. It's just like there's no. I mean, we were like that even with, when we didn't even have a camera.
Yeah.
We were always like trying to tell stories, like, even if we were just drawing comics or something, right? We were always trying to do something. Not saying that we're correct or anything, but yeah. Anyway, still tapping away at that script, a week later.
Yeah. I just want to get it all formatted and stuff so I can start get into it.
Yeah, no, that's cool. It's a neat idea. Dan and I have been kind of mulling over this script that I really think has potential. And right now, what would you say it's at? Like you were saying, it's a bit of a scriptment stage. Maybe like it'll be fleshed out probably like this week sometime.
Well, it's currently. You want the current status?
Sure.
20 pages.
You're kind of like way more distant now.
It's 20 pages.
20 pages.
Oh, it's my phone's farther away. It's 20 pages. 20 whole pages. It would have been cool if it was 30.
Yeah. 1 page for everything. Yeah.
But it's 20 pages.
Actually,
It's scriptment style, 20 pages, but it's all there. Just got to fill it in. Mm-hmm. All the beats are there. Yeah, what were you gonna? You were just.
I had a. No, I'm not gonna. No,
You were all excited about talking about something. I'm sure hands were going like this.
No, it's not. It's nothing.
All right, that's like wow. All right, that was podcast number 30.
30 is going to be 14 minutes long.
No, what?
What's
Aren't
your...
they normally 15 minutes?
No, the last one was like 25 minutes. It's like 30's got to be 30 minutes. Come on.
30's gotta be...
What is your thoughts on, like... Okay, like, we've had some, like, negative comments, like, on our first movies and, but we haven't really heard a lot of negative stuff from wrong people. What like, have you heard anything really super negative? I mean, we've had some really, like, the real only knock so far a lot, like, kind of sometimes consistently, which I don't know if it's, like, super justified, but it's just like how, like, the syncing, like, the audio is just a little bit off. What's your thoughts on that? Like, does it bother you? Or is it just like another learning thing to you?
Well, there's a part of me that kind of wants to go back and either, I guess, go in and fine tune some of the syncing. Mm-hmm. For that reason.
That's probably like.
At the same time, I'm kind of ready to move on. Like.
Mm-hmm. That's what I would, and I had this kind of like
it's a tough one, but that's definitely like a lot of complaints about that.
But I mean, it's fairly minor. Most of the time when I heard that, it's kind of a minor thing. But it actually kind of bugs me in a way where it's like, well, maybe we messed up like technically on a technical aspect of things. Like when somebody's like, "Oh, this story is bullshit." To me, that's more of like, okay, fine. But when something's like a little bit more of a technical error, to me, it's like, shit. Maybe we just didn't. I mean, I hate to say it. It's like if really, I mean, this is really raw, and I'm being transparent as possible. Did we even make a movie? Like I get that kind of creeps in a little bit. Like to me, technical errors kind of make things like not necessarily even a movie. And that may be completely untrue and just totally like in my head.
Yeah, I mean, I understand where that comes from.
I think it's just because like I'm like I think I'm probably a little bit more on the technical end of things.
Yeah.
And you really focus on story and stuff because I haven't heard anyone say like the story is shitty or anything. Like I think that's kind of the strongest point of the movie. I don't know. I think it's just this kind of like this weird self-doubt in me. I don't even think the audio is that bad. Like, and
I don't think you have to worry about that. I think we definitely made a movie.
Yeah, I discussed this with this other coworker of mine a guy I work with, and he's watched the movie and he's like, oh, I didn't even like, I wouldn't even have thought of that. Like he thought, and he's not somebody who would like kind of mince words, and he had nothing but positive. He's like, yeah, I think the audio was what is it? The dialogue it's a little bit off, but not to the point of like that it doesn't become like something that you can get into. Like he was basically saying that if you if you're thinking that way, if that takes you out of the movie that bad, then you've already like lost them, right?
Right.
Which is, you know, is fair enough, like totally fair. That's totally fair. And the thing is, like, you know, we fucked up the audio. Like, you know, I'm not gonna say pretend we didn't. I mean, that's what it took an extra year and a half to finish, and it still is not perfect. The thing is, I want to make perfect sound, and that's the thing. Is like we've always learned, right? You always learn about stuff, and you know, we learned a ton on this movie, and I mean, we're gonna learn a ton on our next movie. So it's like,
yeah, exactly.
I think it's just all the process, right? It's all part of the thing. And, you know, to me, like, when people say, we've heard, like, pretty unanimously that, like, you know, the story's well done, and, you know, even the, you know, good characters and stuff, like, that's really, like, all I really care about in a way. Like, you know, audio's a little funky at times, sure. I mean, I think the sound, like, I've kind of had this discussion too, is, like, I think overall the sound is decent. Like, it's pretty good sound. It's just, there is a little bit of, like, looping issues, you know, which, you know, whatever, you know, we've kind of heard it now, like, kind of loud and clear that, like, you know, our next project, we're gonna have to, you know, focus on recording production audio, which we've always kind of, like, not like we brushed it off. We knew it's kind of a weird thing to explain, and I think people won't believe us in a way, but the why we did the audio the way we did on The Wrong People is like, we wanted to shoot again with no crew. Not saying that that's an excuse, but with the lack of crew comes, like, lack of, like, having a boom operator. And so, like, well, if you're not going to get a boom operator, what's the point of, like, getting that audio when you could just, like, if you did it really well, you could re-record it later. I mean, completely crazy idea, but we did kind of just want to try it. Maybe we should have tried it on a short or something. This is kind of like the idea of, like, maybe we should do more shorts just to try things like that. But again, you know, just that's being pretty raw. I think that's being pretty transparent.
I think we definitely made a movie. I think
open. Like, I'm throwing out my thoughts out there. That's not traditionally somebody would admit to it. I don't think, but I hope people learn from that.
I think we should be proud of it.
Yeah, of course. I mean, nobody's gonna make me unproud of projects. You know, projects we do and projects we finish, and you know, I'm still proud of Massacre Hill.
Let's not get into there.
Yeah, let's not get into that.
You were thinking of possibly maybe doing
posting that,
like a recut or post it?
Yeah, something? No, I think the main issue is, like, the audio. I think the audio mix is terrible in that movie. It's like, I mean, if you think Wrong People, his mix is terrible.
Yeah.
It's like, it's so bad. It's like everything's, like, really weak, and there's not a lot of sound design to it. Just mostly, I don't know. What we're talking about is this no budget zombie movie we did. We started shooting in, like, well over 10 years ago now, 12 years ago, and we finished in 2009. So it's, I mean, again, that was a couple of years project, but, you know, like we were trying to explain with Wrong People too, is a movie that takes 3 years to finish doesn't necessarily make it 3 years of, like, 3 years of awesome.
Yeah.
Like, more than likely, if the longer the project takes, the shittier it is. Like, I mean, no, honestly, like, I don't know. This is kind of like the honest podcast, but, like, would you not agree?
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. I mean,
yeah. I'm still waiting on a local filmmaker, Richard Olak's Battle of Bergedorf.
Yeah.
That's
totally. That we actually
that's
helped
at
out
least
on.
10 years in the making, right?
Yeah, man, probably.
I'm guessing it's probably coming up to 10 years.
Yeah, I think they started shooting in, like had to have been, like, just after we started. No, yeah, they were definitely shooting by the time we finished Massacre Hill. They started shooting in, like, 2007, I think.
Yeah.
That crazy?
Yeah, wow.
A 10-year, and he's still, like, it's still, like, I think they've screened it at times. Like,
really?
Like a cast and crew thing.
Oh, wow. I'd like to see it.
Yeah, we're talking about Battle of Borgerdolf. We probably talked about this in our first Nimpods. But yeah, it's like and Jeff Carpenter's in it.
Yep.
He was in The Wrong People, and he's waiting for it too. I think he was telling us when he shot his scene was like.
It was pretty early, I think.
Yeah,
it was probably
early
like 07, 08.
He was probably like 20 at the time. No, it's funny. That's so funny.
Yeah. All right. I think
gotta head her out.
Yeah.
What do you think about this Nimpods 30? Do you think it's worthwhile?
I think 40 will probably be better.
30 was 30 a tough year for you? 30, turning 30.
30 was alright. 30 is fine.
30 is fine.
Let's not age ourselves. Let's just
What?
say we're in our 20s.
We're in our 20s now.
Isn't that Soul and Member song? Let's just say we're in our 20s. They aren't.
I don't think we can pull off 20s anymore.
They're not in their 20s anymore.
No.
All right.
This has been Nimpods 30.
The big 3-0.
Big 3.
It's all downhill from there.
Thanks for checking this out. Check us out on YouTube. You're probably on YouTube right now if you're seeing our ugly mugs. It's www.francisbrothersfilms.com/YouTube. We just made it super complicated, that URL, because other than that, it's like CXP2. Or you can just check out our website, or we're on Instagram and stuff. But our main focus right now is on YouTube. We're trying to branch out onto Instagram and other stuff, but we're just two old men. We can't do the fancy stuff. What the kids are on, but we're gonna be there one day. One day we'll be old enough to be. That's unironically cool to be on that. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm getting at? You don't want to get one and thrown down? Anyway, thanks a lot. I'm Jamie Francis. You've been listening to Nimpods 30.
I'm Dan.